Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Beverly and it is really nice to see you today. So today I've grabbed a cup of tea, I've got a headache and I've had a couple of really bad mental health days, so I thought why not share some tips and tricks for coping with bad days. So I think we've all had times when we've had bad things happen or we've struggled, and I think it can be very tempting to give in to that thought that's in your head that you want to just hide away. And quite often I just want to, lie in bed, watch Netflix all day, which sometimes we have to do. But I think it's important to remember that we don't have to give in to depression. And I don't mean that in any kind of way to shame anybody who is just lying in bed right now. I think if that's where you have to be, that's where you have to be. Self-care is a big part of my personal plan when it comes to bad mental health days. I've suffered with depression since I was 14, so I've had a lot of bad days, bad spells, and I try and keep things quite positive on here, but I think it's quite important to remember that self-care means different things to different people at different times. It's a very fluid thing, and it's important to keep that in mind on a bad day. Sometimes you do have to give in to it. You do need to just lie in bed and cry all day, and that's okay as long as it's just that one day. I couldn't stop crying for a week once with a breakdown, and that was terrifying. I even cried in my sleep, I think. So I've been there. I know how it feels. But I think we all need times when we need tips to kind of pull ourselves out of it, because it's our brain illness and chemistry telling us lies. That's how I understand depression. I'm not a medical expert, even though I'm a qualified nurse. I'm not a medical expert, but it's how I understand it. It's telling me lies. If it's telling me I'm worthless, it's the exact opposite that I try and believe. And I think that's really important, to be aware of your thoughts. Mindfulness is something that I talk about a lot here and on my blog. If you're not following my blog, shameless self-promotion, please go down and click in the description and you'll find links to all my social media and all the places. Mindfulness really helps me because if I'm in the moment, if I'm thinking, right, here I am in the room, like my brain isn't thinking about what I'm going to say next. My brain is thinking, oh, I can hear the clock and I can see the camera in front of me. I'm imagining people watching it. I'm being mindful. And when I'm being mindful, when my thoughts start to go into a negative spiral, I can kind of track it back a bit easier to the real root of the problem, what's going on, what triggered that thought. And that's really important. If you can track it back to where it began, a lot of the times it's something that you assumed or something that you thought that really has no basis in reality. It's just kind of distorted by the illness that you have. And once I started to understand that, and this is me putting it into very layman's terms, because if I simplify something I can remember it better. So that's really, really important. I would definitely say try and learn to be mindful, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. I've been doing mindfulness now for a couple of years. It's not easy, but it gets easier. And it's definitely helped my mental health, because it's just helped me to be able to track my thoughts back and to see where they start, and to kind of realise, okay, is that real or is that made up? If it's real and somebody's upset me, do I need to talk to that person? Do I need to cut them out of my life, And it helps you to kind of take it apart and deal with that situation rather than spiralling. So that's a big one, I would say, is very helpful. Tea. I would say as well for self-care, and self-care can be very difficult to do. When I'm depressed, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to shower. I don't want to clean my teeth. I don't want to do any of the things that I know will make me feel better. So if I can possibly push that thought aside and get in the shower, or just get in the bath, and even if I'm just sitting in the bath, I'm not washing myself, I'm just sat there, it helps. Especially if you've got like a nice bath bomb or some nice oils and things you can put in the bath and make it really special, candles and things like that. Just spoil yourself. Just do everything possible to spoil yourself. Yesterday I had a shower and I've started dry brushing. It's interesting, my skin is very soft. And then I used, after my shower, I used these body yogurts from the Body Shop, and you just smother them on you when you're wet, and it's like a moisturiser that you put on when you're wet. And I toweled myself off and I felt so much better, because I just felt like I'd washed all that negativity down the drain. It had gone, all that negative energy was gone, back to the earth, and it just felt so much lighter. It was really hard to get from the bed to the shower. That's probably the hardest trip, but once you're in there you will feel better. You will. My granddad was the first person who told me that. Have a shower or a bath, you'll feel better. And I used to think, Granddad, you're insane. But I used to go and do it and I always felt better. So that's my tip for you. Next I would say meditation. Now I love meditating. It can be difficult to begin meditation. I would say if you don't have some form of meditation practice already, definitely look into getting one going. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, it makes such a difference. I use Insight Timer, which is an app that I have, and it's a free app, and they have thousands of free meditations, and I love the guided ones because I can just close my eyes, concentrate on the voice. And I did one about being in a river and having, no, not in a river, in a waterfall, and having all that negativity just washed away. So I just had a shower and imagined that, and then I did a guided meditation and imagined that, and I can't even tell you how nice it felt to just get rid of all that negativity and that negative feeling, and it just really helped my brain to clear of that negative thoughts. And it just kind of resets you. It's kind of like, I always think meditation's a bit like, you know, when your computer is messing up and you think, oh, I'll just turn it off and then turn it back on again. I'll just restart it, it'll be fine. It's kind of like that. So it just kind of restarts your thinking, and I found it to be so helpful. Rest. Rest is a big one. I think I didn't do a lot yesterday. I kind of rested, and instead of doing things that I should have been doing, like I have a daily list of things that I do, and I didn't do a lot of those things because I was just like, I need to just chill. So I kind of curled up with my husband and the dog, and we watched The Kindness Diaries, which if you haven't watched is incredible. It's on Netflix. And it's this man who's travelling around the world. He doesn't have any money, he doesn't have anywhere to stay, and he's travelling on the kindness of others. And then occasionally, like if somebody really touches him, he will pay them back with really kind gifts and things that they need. And oh, I just love that programme so much. It lifted my heart. It helped me just feel like, yes, there are good people out there. I might have been hurt, but look at these wonderful people who are just out there in the world and doing good things. And it really just helped me to feel a lot better about myself, better about the situation, better about humanity in general, because I think I'm not alone in feeling like sometimes all we hear is the bad. When you're on the news, all you hear is the bad. Twitter, all you see is the bad. Instagram, all you see is the best bits of people that they've curated, like here I am doing this amazing yoga pose, or here I am on a beach, or do you know what I mean? But the reality of things is people struggle, but people also help each other, and that just really lifted me up. I just felt amazing after resting and watching that. And then another one, if you have a little furry creature like my little friend Gizmo, who's just dozing here. I don't know if you can see him even. Let me lift him up. He's going to be really grumpy. Hello, mister. Cuddle a dog, cuddle a cat, stroke a rat, whatever you've got, whatever animal you have. Cuddling them is such a big help. Telling them what's wrong is a big help because they don't talk back. They don't argue with you. They don't make you feel bad. They just listen. And that's a beautiful thing. I love having animals around me. You can probably hear my birds. But it's just anything you can do on a bad day to lift your spirits is a good thing. Even if it's something small, like you can't get out of bed, but you can reach over and open the curtains so you get some sunshine in, some vitamin D on you. Or, you know, you go to the toilet, you can't quite face a shower, but you clean your teeth, and then you feel a little bit better. So it's finding little things that work for you. And yesterday, these are all the things that I did that helped me. And today, I'm feeling so much better. I feel more human again. I don't feel bogged down with negativity. I don't feel upset. I kind of feel thankful, you know. I'm thankful that I went through that. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself, about my resilience and how much more strong I am now than I used to be. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually. Give myself a little patsy on the back because I feel good today. Yes, I have a headache, but that won't stop me. That's not going to stop me now. So I just hope that this video helps somebody out there. If you're having a tough day, if you've got some tips and tricks of your own, definitely share them down below. I think it's important that we share what works for us. Tea works, definitely. But while you're down there, if you enjoy my content, definitely hit that subscribe button, then ring that little bell so you always know when I upload. I'm usually here Mondays and Fridays. I hope that you have a really fabulous week. I hope that it's the best it can be, and I hope that I will see you here again on Friday for another video. Bye.